It might seem a bit bizarre to you to write a commentary on what the world will see as a storybook. I'm thinking of Winged Pharaoh, Joan Grant. But, well, there's some treasures here that give insight. And let me see if I can give you some notion of such. Yes, there's she's going to be initiated as a priest. Well, I mean, if she passes the test, which is pretty grim. And of course, it's inside this sort of pyramid-like structure, but not smooth sides, as she says. It's in three levels, which immediately, of course, reminds one of the step pyramid. And not only that, of course, but that a pyramid is something to do with religious rites, but not a tomb. And she's to pass 4 nights, not 3, as if buried in what I would call a step pyramid, all right? And alone, of course, and in the dark and cold, etc., etc. And she would leave her body, and if you think of it, Jesus' story, three days and 3 nights. Well, this is 4 days and 4 nights, okay? The numbers have changed, but there you go. Okay. Well, I was hovering somewhere around page 155 of my paperback copy here. It's a paperback by Ariel Press. Okay. $15.99. Right. One by one the drop stones fell. This is on page 156. And closed me in this living tomb, which echoed to their feet, that's the priests. And it was as though I were in a mighty gong. My mind's filled with Tartaria at the minute, and I'm thinking of the bells and the sounds and so on. Okay. Well, now, true to what's in the Christian religion, and to some extent, of course, their literature, she's going to experience the equivalent of hell, I think. So chapter 2 of this particular section, which section is it? It's part 4, initiation, you see. And she goes to the caverns of the underworld. That sounds a bit like Jesus going into the depths of the earth, doesn't it? After the crucifixion. Crimes which are too manifold to be freed on earth. Now, I couldn't read fully this chapter. Whatsoever's good and lovely, and this is not by any means completely that. So I did my usual skimming and skipping at great speed, as if I were walking on hot coals, really. But she rescues some people, and Jesus, that was the work of Jesus, wasn't it? To rescue, release those in. Anyway, I'd led her from this hell, and she is to be reborn compassionate to all who suffer pain. I mean, she goes through lengthy, not too lengthy, but a few paragraphs on each person's sins, which were not something I wanted to dwell on. On page 159, I went to him and took him up out of the water. I told him that his time had come to be born again on earth. So this was another. She doesn't manage to rescue all, of course, but she cites some that she did, and so forth. A cute thing on fire. He must stay until he will never again misuse fire, which man should cherish as his friend. Now, be alive, dear one. Think of Tartaria, the steppes of Central Asia, the Persian religion worships fire, and quite right too if they have winters that Russia seems to get these days. So it's a great friend. Fire, which man shall cherish as his friend, for it is the first gift, unshared by animals, they run from it, don't they, that earth gives to all mankind. Earth with a capital E. Nature, I suppose, female. Okay. In chapter 3, we're on page 160 still. I went to the place where those whose tongues had been a poisoned weapon suffer. And she goes into that. Bottom of the next page. In his self-righteousness had told them that they were unworthy of his sympathy, for their sufferings were of their own making. Now that sin can be levelled against the Christian faith. You know, the wages of sin is death. And of course, Hindu reincarnation faiths that basically say, well, your lot in this world simply reflects your inadequacies of the past lives that you've had. Is my understanding of the Jesus view different? Unquestionably. We're children of God. I don't punish my kids. I don't hold them responsible. I do lead them through experiences that will rescue them and bring them to a pure understanding, if I can, and God can. And we trust that He does. So I'd say that was my view of, well, if it isn't the Jesus story, it should be. This is martial arrogance, of course. Page 162. I saw the place where all must go who have betrayed a proven friend. Oh, there was one earlier. Those who had mocked children and others, who could not answer to their unworthy spears. That was another grievous sin, you see. But this last one, my goodness. Then I saw the place where all must go who have betrayed a proven friend. This is one of the greatest of sins. And almost, but not quite. Well, I felt tears coming. I'm reading that to you. Here they shall remain until one is in. Yeah, well, it's a bad space anyway. Until one whose companionship they are no longer worthy shall of his compassion fetch them from this place to rejoin the brotherhood of man. And I won't tell you how that hit me. How sad. Well, I think in true godliness, simply our heart goes out to anyone who suffers, whether the rest of the universe thinks they should or shouldn't is irrelevant. Then we get to chapter 4 of this section. I'm still in one, I'm on page 163 still. The false priest. Now this is, don't know how much one can get from this, but he'd been a priest of Anubis in the little temple of Atlantis. Sorry, I should actually pronounce it, I think, the way it's spelled here. Athlanta. So not Atlanta, but a TH. Athlanta. He was the only true dreamer in the temple. But anyway, things had gone wrong with him, and he'd spent 2,000 years alone in consequence, which sounds a bit heavy to say the least. And not of my persuasion, but there you go. Such ideas. And we're coming to the end of the section on page 164. Oh yes, but this one has a good outcome, of course, yes. Your time has come. In 5 months you will be reborn from your mother's womb and feel the gentle comfort of her arms. When you are now 5 months, that's strange, isn't it? You think of in mum for 9 months, but this is 5. Okay, premature bub. I hope they had good medical care. My last wife was what you'd call an intensive care preterm baby nurse, level 3 in the hospital system here. Wired them up or put the tubes in and so on, and babies that would rest in the palm of your hand. So, I think as early as 24 weeks, I'm not sure, earlier than that. Yeah, from the survival point of view. Yes. She was a wonderful soul, and turned to hating me. But she could just as easily turn back to saintliness again. Bless her. Lord bless you. And he does, you see, he blesses and he keeps, and he causes his light to shine upon us until we come through. Well, always, but to bring us through. That's my view, and I'm sticking to it. And the time shall come when you shall bring wisdom to those on earth, and you shall express your knowledge in such words that you shall be known as the priest of the silver tongue. Well, Marshall prides himself on being a master of words, and gosh, I hope to goodness I haven't had the experience and bad record that this poor priest has had. I trust not. For the Jesus story I take it to be, God is our heavenly Dad and loves us. And if I can be a softer dad than this, how much more can my Heavenly Father be? To us all, he has no favourites. Whether it's me or my ex-wife, or plural, with 3 wives, or anyone on earth, or anyone not on earth, all beings. Our God is an awesome God. according to the Jesus story. Father, Dad, our Heavenly Dad. Well, that's my reading for the afternoon. I'm not sure whether it was entirely uplifting. It was a bit tricky at times. I had to skip. Whatsoever's good and lovely. Try to think on these things and not get drawn into what the world may present you with. But sometimes it's to good reason, presumably because God allows it to happen. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Now the next section, but I'll leave that till some further recording. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.